Three, two. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. No more.
You're a little pitchy.
Welcome to Sports Desk
Sports Desk coming to you live from the penthouse.
from your two favorite stupid cupids.
Jake and Sky.
We have the best show for you tonight. We have special guests with us that are going to make this show even better.
Just going to bring out the love in every single one of us here.
Yes.
However, we have one without the other for the time being.
Yes. We're currently waiting on the second of the couple. But that's fine. They're not divorced. She is just not here yet.
So let us introduce to you our buddy Harrison.
Harrison, welcome to Sports Desk.
Hello, SportzDescx.
Oh, it's so great to have you on the show, Harrison, and hopefully eventually Maddie as well.
Yes,
thank
we're
you
hoping
for
she gets her
having me.
hair.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you on here. We also would like to commend Harrison for joining the show on such short notice as we asked him yesterday.
Such a nice guy.
We were desperate. Yeah.
Desperate. So as we all know, you're going to get right down into it. As we all know, the Super Bowl took place this last weekend, and it was quite a boring game. Harrison, did you end up watching that game at all?
I did indeed.
What were your thoughts? Let's hear some initial thoughts.
Can't say I'm really surprised that the Buccaneers took the W with Tom Brady kind of leading the charge. I kind of did expect more from Pat, but it just never happened. The commercials, as always, were better than the actual game. So
Nice.
happy to say, did enjoy the commercials very much.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it.
Were you cheering for a specific team beforehand?
Probably the Buccaneers, just because Tom Brady. I guess between the two, and I don't really care that much about him, but it's always good to see Tom Brady win. Such a goat as he is, you know.
Yeah.
True.
You know, that's actually very interesting that you say Buccaneers because a lot of people I was talking to wanted the Chiefs to win because they specifically dislike Tom Brady.
That is true. I don't specifically dislike him, but I just thought the Chiefs were going to be overpowering offensively, and they were absolutely shut down offensively, which is awful to see.
Yeah. I will say I think if it was the Tom Brady and the Patriots, I would have been voting for the Chiefs, but this Tom Brady by himself, I don't have anything against him. Patriots is definitely the enemy.
True.
Yeah. Yeah. And the Patriots were bad this year without Tom Brady. So I think it just goes to show how great he is to elevate a team.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Did Maddie or did your significant other watch the game with you?
Yes,
tell
we
Maddie
watched
on
it
the show?
together.
Also, her name is displayed.
It would have been a much more enjoyable event if the Packers were in it, but we stuck through it.
I only assume that the Packers weren't in it because Jake and I got an interview at Lambeau Field,
Yeah.
and they just happened to not come through in the playoffs, which is perfectly fine with both of us.
I was quite happy with the end result of that game.
I was gonna say you guys don't have anything to complain about there.
Yeah, we didn't even make the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, we have nothing going for us. But like if we look at the stats from the Super Bowl between the two teams, Mahomes finished with 2 interceptions and no touchdowns, and Brady had no picks and 3 touchdowns. So it was an absolute night and day performance between the two quarterbacks. But Mahomes also didn't have an offensive line to block for him.
Yes, if I remember correctly, he was under pressure for 53.3% of all of the snaps that he took offensively.
Which is over half.
To put that in perspective, us Vikings fans, Kirk Cousins was under duress for 52% of like all of his snaps. So Chiefs were playing exactly like the Vikings.
Basically take the Super Bowl and expand it 16 games, and this is what we go through every single week.
Yeah. Sucks, man. Sucks.
But Harrison, as far as I'm concerned, the Packers have one of the better offensive lines in the league.
I would agree. We've been. I'm not biased at all, of course.
Yeah.
No one is.
Well, and going back to specifics of the Super Bowl, what did I hear about Pat having to do was it a toe surgery that he needed after the game?
Yes, he had some pretty nasty toe, like turf toe coming into the game, and it affected him pretty severely. I mean, I think we could see that he wasn't nearly as mobile as he like has been in the past. So he's playing under a lot of pain, and yeah, it affected him. But at the end of the day, he was getting pressured far too much for any quarterback to really do much with. And as you can see, he is human. He's hurt. But I don't think that was too much of an excuse. I mean, he had a lot of receivers dropping balls for him during that game. There's at least 2 instances where the football itself hit his receiver in the face mask and dropped to the ground harmlessly. And one of those was a touchdown catch. One of those was pretty close to inside the 5. So it could have been a really like competitive game had his receivers not dropped the ball, had he been more mobile, had he not been injured. Different stuff like that. So a few different factors played into Chiefs offense not being as hot as they normally are. Looks like we got a couple of comments here.
Oz just says that you're soft.
I'm about as soft as this blanket is.
He also says the refs threw too many flags. There were a lot of questionable calls. Harrison, I don't know if you thought maybe the refereeing was a little touchy at the Super Bowl.
It for sure was. And I think we saw a lot of that too with the Packers and Buccaneers game too. I know there was a lot of comparisons being made online about that game and then the Super Bowl. The reffing was definitely not all there, and there were some very iffy calls being made.
Yeah, I think there were several plays where like they'd call pass interference and the ball wasn't even really catchable.
Yes, everything is very ticky-tacky.
Yeah. We have another comment, this one from Jonathan Wardell, who says, thoughts on Tom Brady being helped off the boat? He went hard with the avocado tequila. I don't know if you saw that video.
I did not see him being helped off. I did see him throwing the Lombardi trophy from one boat to another.
Yes. He had a little too much fun and needed help off of the boat today during the Super Bowl party.
I can't say I blame him, but best wishes for his recovery this coming weekend.
Well, he was on Twitter afterwards, so he's still alive.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
Yeah. I'd say.
Yeah. All right. Moving on
to the next section.
Super Bowl is great. We're past it now.
NFL's done.
NFL's done. We're going to be long awaiting the upcoming NFL season. There's no NFL Combine like we said last week. So that'll be interesting to see what goes on with that. I do know Rashad Bateman was selected to go to the draft just because my friend is dating him. I say friend like we're super close. We weren't. We just went to the same school in the 3rd and 4th grade, 4th and 5th grade. And yes, so we're moving on. NCAA men's. Basketball.
So March Madness begins March 18th this year. And last year they didn't have March Madness. But this year they're doing it all in Indianapolis so as to keep everyone kind of confined.
It's like the NCAA bubble instead of the NBA bubble.
Harrison, are you one to fill out a bracket annually?
No, I'm usually not. The last time I filled out a bracket was 7th grade, I believe, and that was only because we were required to as a class. My teacher was very into basketball and the brackets and wanted us to have an experience. And for me, that was the first and probably only bracket I've filled out since. I definitely would consider doing it again. It's just that as someone that doesn't avidly follow sports, and I wouldn't also consider myself to be a betting man, never really cared for it, but it is
chances of marriage.
Yeah, you took your chance on love.
And that's what we say when Maddie's not around.
Yep, that would not fly if she was here with me.
Interesting though. Yeah, I think they're pretty fun to fill out every year.
Question for everybody out in the comments. If we started up a SportzDescx bracket challenge, is that something that people would like sign up for? It'd probably be through ESPN. I'll also throw out a Twitter poll too. So
yeah.
I will say as somebody that normally doesn't do a bracket, I would do one with you boys.
Oh, Harrison.
Well, appreciate it.
I think we have to do it now.
That means you're gonna be in our winning.
Not to each other, obviously. Jonathan says absolutely not. He would not do it. Oh my god.
Stop just
He's
might
even
be
less
good.
of a betting man.
Well, we're gonna stay in Wisconsin with baseball. Oh wait, fun fact of the day about NCAA basketball. University of California, Los Angeles holds the record for the most national titles ever. Harrison, do you care to guess how many they have all time?
I would have no idea.
All right, it's between 1 and 20.
14.
Close.
You're close. It is 11 national titles all time.
Really?
Maybe you should be a betting man. You're pretty good at guessing. We're going to move things down to baseball.
Love baseball.
I love baseball. And it's getting close to the start of the baseball season. That's coming up in just under a few months. Starting April 1st, I believe, is the season opener. But for you Brewers fans out there, I just got this quote yesterday from Ryan Braun, not directly from him, but Yahoo, saying he's not currently interested in playing, which is very interesting. He's been with the team since 2007. So Brewers fans might be seeing some new blood out in left field in the future seasons. Harrison, did you ever go to Brewers games growing up? Are you a Brewers fan?
I am a Brewers fan. Not that I follow them or any other sports super closely, but I definitely root for the Brewers. I have only ever been to one game. I think also in 7th grade. And I remember the highlight of the game being that we sat right under the slide, and Bernie splashed us when he went down the slide. And that was, for my class at least, that was the coolest part of the day.
That's pretty awesome.
You and Maddie went to the same high school, correct?
Correct. We went to Fox Valley for 4 years and started becoming really good friends. Probably halfway through sophomore year, I want to say.
Oh, okay.
Now you're really good friends.
The greatest.
Ever
The
better.
greatest of friends. Did you ever get a chance to watch her playing volleyball, or is that like you're not interested, you're not gonna watch?
I may have gone once or twice my freshman year, but really no, I never did. I think she was more involved in club volleyball outside of the school than she was actually playing for the school team. But I never saw much of it other than maybe freshman year.
Okay, I gotcha. And now Harrison, you're a pretty big paintball guy. I mean, I remember a few episodes back, Jake and I were talking about the opportunity that we got to go paintballing with you, and you are the man who had a clutch 1 versus like 5 or 6, came out with the dub, and we all were out. So tell us about how you got into paintballing, everything that comes with that, and how often it is that you do go paintballing.
Do you still have bruises?
Not from the bachelor party. No, I do not have bruises. I did go back like 2 weeks ago, I want to say, and I may have a bruise or two from that still. But I will also add, this is definitely one part that I don't feel bad that Maddie is not here for. She gets annoyed when I talk about this a little bit too much, but no.
We should have saved it for when she was here.
No, I don't think you should have. I got back to it probably January or August of this last summer. Before that, I had only gone once back when I was in probably freshman or sophomore year. My dad took me and my brother just for the fun of it. And I really never played again until this last summer. And I thought, it could be fun to get back into it. I did have a really good time when I went that one time. So made a point to go a couple more times during the summer, got my own gear, and then started getting really into it. And I'm very excited to get back into it this spring.
I was going to say, because when we went with you, you had quite the assortment of equipment at your disposal. So I feel like when I saw you with all that, I was like, I hope he's on my team. because this man knows what he's doing.
Came out with all that gear on. Harrison, real quick, would you be able to turn your camera off and turn it back on, please? We lost you on the video. You're frozen.
Whoa, that's
Is that working?
Hey, yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right.
It's the classic tech solution. Turn it off and turn it back on.
Sweet. Thank you, sir. You also said that you're pretty interested in frisbee. Is this ultimate frisbee? Is this frisbee golf? And is it a little bit of both?
Wii Sports.
Wii Sports frisbee.
Oh, you don't want to mess with me on sports. Definitely a little bit of both. I got more into ultimate when I joined the UFO club here at WLC. Definitely got me way more into it and improved my athleticism and my disc throwing in the frisbee field on the quad. But I do enjoy a leisurely day of frisbee golf now and then.
Good man, good man. I too am quite the frolfer.
I went frothing with you this summer.
Yeah, that is true.
Only beat me by 9.
Jake threw a frisbee in the back of a truck.
Yeah, it went to the river. Yeah, we have some comments that we need to
addressing.
That we need to address. First, though, we're gonna go way back. Oz just says that he picked. This is about basketball. That's how far behind we are. The last bracket he filled out, he picked Villanova to win, but they chose to ignore him and wait until the next year to win it all. Claire says that Skylar and I are such a... Oh, Maddie and Harrison are a cute couple. Jonathan asks, how is Claire tonight? Oz just says, Jake, can we do something about your transitions from sport to sport? I take that personally. Claire asked, can we, or we should cover pro and college volleyball? And then we have been accused of never addressing the comments. So there you go. Sorry, we're so ingrained listening to Harrison's stories.
Just the sound of his silky smooth voice in my eardrums just
Oh,
keeps me fascinated and encaptured.
Now, Harrison, if you had to choose between paintballing or playing ultimate frisbee for an afternoon, what would you choose and why?
I think it depends on a couple things. One, the group of people that I have at my disposal to play either of these activities with, and then how I'm feeling in my wallet. Because paintball, I'm sure, as you guys know from going one time, is not a cheap activity.
You definitely pay a price.
Definitely pay a price, both in monetary means and with you leave with some marks. Let's say that.
Yes.
Whereas frisbee, ultimate frisbee, you can do that with little to no cost most days. And I think as far as just hopping into a game really easy and really quickly, I would go with frisbee. You definitely have a little bit more time and effort being put into preparing for a game of paintball.
So you say for a college student, maybe frisbee is the way to go over paintballing if you look at it from that financial standpoint.
Yeah, I think paintball, unless you're like seriously committed to it, is definitely better for a once in a while kind of activity. Get some buddies together, go have a blast for the day. But I mean, for a college student trying to ball on a budget, I would say probably frisbee is a lot easier to gather some of your buddies and just go to the quad or go find a patch of grass just around the corner and toss the frisbee around.
Nice.
Sweet.
I remember when Skylar and I played ultimate frisbee in the summer. It was a pretty good time. And yeah, I mean, pretty chill. Just
We played ultimate frisbee over the summer.
I meant frisbee golf, sorry. Yeah, 2-person ultimate frisbee. It's basically rugby.
Yeah, dude. 1v1.
Sorry.
All right, Harrison, what is your favorite sports movie?
Sports movie. Probably Remember the Titans. I've definitely watched that a couple times in high school. I think maybe once in here at the for different leadership or team building clubs or activities. Definitely very inspiring story and good for team building, kind of showing what it means to be a leader and being able to rally people behind you.
Yes, it is quite the classic.
Yeah.
So, sir.
I've never seen it. I know, it's pretty
Never
sad.
seen it.
No, I haven't. Oh, triple X or 10. Your godson.
Giving my godson a shout out. What's up, TJ? Thanks for tuning in, buddy.
Why does he have that name?
He's a big fan.
Okay.
Harrison, you just recently got your car a little fixed up. You once upon a time crashed your moped. What is your
Can we get the footage on that?
what is your favorite car brand?
Car brands. Jeez. Are we talking like car that I would own and drive, or like my dream car?
You can do both.
Yeah, we'll do both.
Oh, shoot. I think for ideal brand for just like a good like economy car that I would drive would probably be Honda. Hondas are fairly pricey. Sorry, not pricey. What am I trying to say? They're good bang for your buck.
Reliable?
Yeah, good bang for your buck. Very reliable, very well built. My whole family, my extended family, we have a lot of Hondas in and around our family.
Yeah. And what is the dream car?
Dream car, surprisingly, probably like a Subaru. My brother just recently got a Subaru and talks a lot about the different stuff that you can do with a Subaru, and they're very, very durable.
Yeah.
Definitely, if I were to get like a higher end car that I could like play around with, I don't think it would be on a road. It would be in the dirt, in the mud, which you can definitely do with a Subaru.
Yeah.
That's not something that you hear every day.
No, very impressive. Scott is signing on late. Welcome, Scott, to our Valentine's Day special. It's better to be late than to never sign on at all.
Exactly.
As they say. What did you miss? Super Bowl's over. Basketball is coming up.
Harrison just got married.
And baseball is starting up soon.
His wife is not with him.
Yeah, his wife left him for the night. Oh,
For her hair's sake.
to get her hair done. To get her hair done. Let me just specify. Oh, Doug says Doug's out here. Hey, Doug. Oh, he actually tuned in. Thanks, Doug. Do you want
Harrison.
to? Okay, you just run with it.
Really, really important question.
Sure.
Will yours and Maddie's kids be athletes?
That's up to them, I think. I
Smart.
I
You're too
definitely
permissive.
want to give my kids the opportunity to perform and compete in whatever field or arena they want to, whether that's sports or music, because both of those are equally important. But yeah, I think I was given plenty of opportunities to kind of feel around different sports. And even though I never liked it, I feel like that's really important to kind of expose kids to that and get them active in athletics.
Now, another question similar to that is: will your kids be athletic? Do you think? Will they even have a chance to make a team?
Oh, in the genes.
Yes. Yeah.
That is, it's hard to say. I hope so.
As a kid, I didn't wear jeans.
So Harrison, if your kids are athletic, who between you and Maddie, who do you consider to be more athletic? Because she played volleyball, but you play frisbee, so it's kind of apples to apples here.
And you also shot like 12 kids when we were
Okay.
paintballing.
I would say probably Maddie. I think
Suck up.
I think if I had
She just
found
get home.
sport earlier that I really enjoyed, maybe I could have applied myself toward that a little better. But I think she has a better chance at that than I do.
Okay, so maybe just saying like pure natural athleticism, she maybe has you beat.
Probably.
Okay.
Claire would like to attest that she is indeed amazing at volleyball. Harrison, my dad, would also like to congratulate you on getting married.
And Jonathan says that your kids will pop out with paintball guns in hand. And
God, I hope
Guns
not. I
blazing.
hope not.
Claire says that your kids will be great singers for sure. And Scott, our famous commenter, says or asks, will the kids be Vikings fans?
Absolutely
Answer.
not.
Okay.
Well, that was off the table quick.
Where's the delete button for Harrison? Well, I
I'll
have
just
to.
mic drop.
I have to respect your conviction on that.
My brother would also like to point out that he did indeed call the Super Bowl. He guessed the game right. Jake also guessed the game right. I was wrong.
So does that mean I beat you in the season challenge?
Absolutely not. You were back by like 40 games.
Worth a shot. But the Super Bowl is the most important game. What's another question?
Was there any more questions from here you wanted to ask her? Or did you want to jump right into WLC Sports?
If you could add any sport to the Olympics, what would it be and why?
Do you even have to ask? Obviously, paintball.
You called it, dude. You just said it.
Should have been the best, but I was kidding.
It should have been the best, man. Okay, paintballing. So how would you want that? Like 10-person teams for each country on just a big obstacle course?
Well, I will say there's already like tournament, like semi-pro and professional, like competitive paintball league in the U.S. and probably in other countries as well. But I think it's usually 5-man teams that compete against each other in a set arena or set field with inflatable bunkers, and it's actually a pretty serious competition. It's relatively new, but it's on up and coming.
That's cool. I do remember when we were paintballing, there were some people there in other obstacle courses that were like, they seemed like they were levels above like where we were at. Like they seemed like they were doing it very competitively.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a lot more serious than what you would see if you and the homies were heading out for the afternoon.
Yeah, I love going out with the homies.
My homies?
Yeah. So we have a few more comments here. Questions. Scott asks, will they be Twins fans? It's the Minnesota baseball team.
What if you have
Probably not.
twins?
I guess it's you can't really decide for them, but I would say
My dad did.
that's unfortunate. I would wager probably not.
Okay. And
I thought you weren't a betting man.
Hypocrite. Claire Schlegg asks, will Jake or Sky be the kid's godfather? Answer carefully.
I would not put it past you guys. I think it could be in the cards.
Okay. That's a nice way of saying no. Jake will be the godmother. Doug has a question for you, Harrison. As a former marching band member, do you consider marching band a sport? And please provide evidence for your answer.
I would say absolutely it is a sport, and I would be willing to argue with people that disagree. I think it's definitely the best of both worlds, where you've got a high level of musicianship and musical performance, but then you also take the team experience with your peers and with the whole rest of the band. You have to work as a group, putting in countless hours during the summers. And I will say, give an example. I think that a marching band can put in as much, if not more, effort during certain days of the year when they have to put on 2, 3, 4 shows or parades a day. An example being 4th of July. When I was with Vanguard, we marched 3 parades every 4th of July, and then 1 or 2 shows the next day and another show after that. So the week can get really exhausting, and the days leading up to that and the preparation and practice that goes into it, I think absolutely it is a valid contender for a sport.
Very interesting. You provide a lot of good details and evidence as to why it should be considered as such.
Yes, I would never play that sport.
No. Do we want to jump into WLC action?
Do we want to, or do we want to address some of these other questions that we got?
Yeah, we can.
Harrison, my dad would like to know what kind of paintball gun that you have. He also has a suggestion for you right after you tell me this.
Okay. I did have a Tipman that I just recently traded in for a Planet Eclipse MG100 is the gun that I now have.
All right.
Oh, your dad. Is your dad's name Adam?
My dad's name is Adam.
Oh, he says hello, and he says hi to us.
He called us ushers.
Aw. Hello to you, Adam, and thanks for tuning into Sports Desk.
Yes, sir. My father would like you to invest in a Red Ryder carbon action paintball gun. I hear that's the best on the market.
I hear that that's really good for shooting fire out.
I would imagine so.
Oh, man.
Would you consider slam poetry to be a sport?
Why is that even a question?
That's a interesting question for sure. I don't. I guess if you can consider like a rap battle a sport, but I feel like those are on the same level.
Well, they get heated, so.
I think it should be a sport. Okay, we're going to jump into nationally recognized sports at the collegiate level by talking about WLC action.
Yes. Harrison, did you know men's basketball, women's basketball, they're having games, they're playing, they're doing well. Both of those teams are undefeated right now.
I did not know that, but congratulations to those teams. I'm very proud to be a Warrior.
Yeah, and Skylar and I were at some basketball games this weekend. Skylar was able to see all of both of them. And the men's team played pretty well both games. And there's kind of a surprise leader on the team in the form of freshman point guard Jacob Stoltz, averaging almost 18 points a game through 3 games.
3 games, yeah.
So they've got, I would describe the team as having really a lot of depth. I feel like a lot of people can step up at any given time.
Yes, they have a lot of depth. Their scoring is pretty widespread. A lot of young faces, a lot of young guys are actually getting a lot of playing time this year. And so it's super cool to see. It's super cool to see that the scoring has been like spread out as even as it is. But we got pretty much 3 guys averaging double digits each game above 12 points, which is pretty sick, pretty crazy. Games are coming up here pretty soon. Friday, Saturday, the guys are at Lakeland. And then on Sunday, they're going to be at the guys are here against Lakeland.
Yeah.
And then at MSOE. So MSOE is pretty close. Our downtown rivals, basically. So Jake and I were going to try to hit up one of those games. Maybe all of them. We'll see.
Maybe.
Jake, you want to talk to us about the girls' basketball?
Yes. Not revealing too much. So women's basketball is 4-0, and we have only one senior on the team this year, Amanda Brug. I believe we mentioned her last week. She leads all scorers on the team with 10.8 points per game. Harrison, did you ever attend a lot of basketball games when you were a student here?
I think I attended the most basketball games here at WLC my senior year. I think mostly to support my residents in the freshman dorm. And I will say it made me wish that I had gone to more in the last 3 years before that. It was very, very fun to see and very cool to see the college kind of come together and support the team.
I will say this weekend we had as big a student section as I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think overall people are just really missing sports being live and having something to do, and they're just getting bored. But
can we have more pandemics? Kidding.
The showing was just absolutely crazy. It was great. The guys I know love seeing everybody, love being there, hearing the crowd cheer.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like an actual crowd and not like an automated or anything like that.
Yeah,
so
not like fake crowd noise.
That's pretty cool.
You can't replace that natural live energy that the fans provide.
Absolutely not.
Am I reading this right? Marion, they beat them 88-33.
For women's basketball?
Yeah, did we really beat them by 55 points?
I guess, yeah.
That is so many points. That's crazy. Yeah, so women's basketball has not only won, but they've won every game by at least 10 points. So, 10 points is relatively close in basketball, but that's still a pretty convincing win.
Yeah.
So that's great that the team is playing that well. They've got games at Lakeland this weekend. Men's are here versus Lakeland. And the basketball season for both teams, I believe, concludes at the end of this month.
Yeah.
They're cranking games out.
Yep. So the way that it's going is they're playing like back-to-back games. So whatever team they're playing, they're either going to play both of those games in like the span of 2 days or the span of like a weekend. And they're playing at the same location. So when we played Marion for guys basketball at the start of their season, it was Marion on a Friday and a Saturday. When we're playing Lakeland, that's a Friday and a Saturday again. So it's It's kind of different this year. It's difficult to play the same team back to back, especially at this level.
Yeah. I think playing games multiple days in a row is tough at this level.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. So yeah, it's crazy how they're cramming everything in, but it's great that the players get a chance to play. So apparently, Jonathan provided some insight to that Marion game where they beat him by 55. Asks, didn't Marion not score at all in the fourth quarter? So that might explain why we won by so much.
Yeah, actually, I'm pretty sure if I remember seeing that on Twitter, that they were held scoreless Marion was held scoreless in the fourth quarter. It was pretty crazy when you think about it, because I would imagine that that's about the time where you brought out like your seconds and third stringers,
all the backups and everything.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Moving on to men's volleyball, as we mentioned last week, they're gonna have a bunch of games starting up here soon, starting on the 18th at Concordia University, our rivals to the north. I believe Concordia is ranked D3.
Concordia is one of the better teams in the nation.
Like number 3 or something.
Which bodes well for us.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about an underdog story. That's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Home opener February 23rd here versus MSOE. I bet you there's going to be a lot of students at that game.
I would imagine so. Guys volleyball is exciting. Those guys have mad hops. It's going to be crazy. We got a couple of friends on the team. It'll be fun to watch.
Yeah.
Harrison, have you ever seen a men's volleyball game at all?
I can't say I haven't. I'm excited to possibly get to see that here at WLC now. Unfortunately, after I'm graduated, but
I mean, you still live on campus, though.
True.
That's true.
Hey, we'll find an open spot.
I don't know if I would have taken the opportunity to jump in on that if I was still a student and I could have competed, but
I think a lot of the excitement exists too in the fact that we haven't had a men's team here for volleyball in the past. So
I think it's also not really very well heard of, like just in general.
Exactly. So I think just kind of getting that new general excitement of a new team starting up on campus, the energy is going to be pretty high around that team for at least, the first few games. We'll see. I hope they do really well. I think they might surprise some people and pull out some wins.
True.
Should be fun.
It'll be interesting.
If you want to talk about track.
Yeah. So track season's coming up, and their first indoor meet is going to be February 27th, which is creeping up on us quite quickly as well.
It's at the same time both slow and quick.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like the days go slow, but the weeks go fast and everything. So we're getting there slowly but surely. I'm sure all of those guys are ready to compete. They're excited. They had one track meet this last semester at WLC. I got to go see that. It was freezing cold. It also happened to be the same day that football had their one and only scrimmage, and then we were completely done with pads, and went back to like social distancing workouts and whatnot. But track's looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a pretty good season for them. We got a couple of good seniors. We got a relatively sizable team that just loves competing, loves being out there. Granted, it is an indoor meet. Not many tracksters enjoy that nearly as much as they would an outdoor meet, but it's still competition, and that's what they're in it for. So,
yeah. Harrison, is track something you ever considered doing in high school?
If I remember correctly, I did compete in one track meet actually in high school. And I don't remember if it was grade school or high school. It would have been either probably like 7th, 8th grade, or maybe I think it was probably 7th grade. Definitely not ever do it again. I was never a runner. I don't know why they put me in the running events. But I did what I had to do. I will say it was a lot of fun hanging out and just kind of watching the other events after I competed. But not for me.
Yeah.
Respect. Claire asked a little bit ago about WLC football. Right now the plan is for a season to start in March. I do believe March like 20th is the first game or something like that. So that'll be coming up here pretty soon. We're still doing like our social distance workouts, which is super like repetitive, but hopefully eventually I'll be able to run a research study on some of the football guys, which will be pretty interesting. That'll be for like a senior thesis kind of a thing. But other than that, like, yeah, we're just doing workouts now. Season's set to start in March. We got, I think, 4 games with actual set dates, and it looks like we're only going to have 5 games this season. unless we can get another team from our conference to like not withhold from the season. So all of that is up in the air yet. Things still need to be figured out. Maybe we'll squeeze in another game with like Carthage or Carroll or something like that. We'll just have to wait and see. It'll be fun to see what happens.
Yeah, it'd be nice to be able to attend a few games, as a student and watch the team and kind of see the product, all the work they've been putting in, see it on the field, kind of see what we have as a team.
True.
And I'm sure players, including Skylar, would enjoy the fans there to kind of rev up the atmosphere.
Yeah.
So, Harrison, I'll be at the games if I can go, and I will need a buddy to sit with, so feel free to come with me.
I would be honored to sit next to you, bud.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
First game is supposed to be against Rockford, though, which should be a pretty exciting season opener.
Mm-hmm.
We have not lost to them since I've been here, which is pretty crazy.
We must continue that. I also like to point out, on a side note, Skylar and I mentioned briefly last week about merchandise for Sports Desk, and I would just like to say that we did receive our first shipment of shirts in yesterday. So we have some orders for shirts in it. If that is something that you would like, you let one of us know. Come in charcoal gray or a red-ish shirt.
Heathered red.
Yeah, heathered red. It's a pretty cool red. So if you want a shirt, if you want some merchandise, I know Harrison, he got one. Maddie got one. When we get them, we'll be flaunting them on screen. We'll have our marketing manager crank them out. And we'll have some merch coming your way. So let us know if that's something that you would like.
Yeah, true. That's exciting.
It's unfortunate that Maddie was not able to join us because
Yeah.
of her hair. I hope it turns out really well.
Me too.
She deserves it if she's been there for 4 hours.
Yes, Harrison, quick question.
Yes.
You've been married to Madison for a couple of months now.
Just over
Not
1
even.
month, but yes.
Just over 1 month. So,
Oh.
marketing manager. If you think her hair, deep down, you don't like her hair, and she asks you what you think of her hair, are you gonna lie to her or tell her the truth?
How comfortable are you with lying?
The true test of a
I would-
relationship.
And if I'm not 100% on board with it, I will make sure that she knows that it'll be good.
Oh, that is love right there. Gosh. Jonathan says, I bet the marketing manager would be pretty busy. Wow, he's a smart one.
Yeah.
Where's my shirts? We haven't even ordered yours yet, Aja. Wait.
I thought we did.
No, I haven't ordered his yet.
Okay. Actually, wait.
Good things come to those who wait. Did you have to get going, Skylar?
What time is it? Yeah, I probably should.
Harrison, thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode.
Yes. Thank you again for joining us on this week's episode.
Maddie, we miss you so much.
Yeah, I'm
Man,
sorry
I
that
wish
she
you could
couldn't
be
be able
here.
to. Yeah, I'm sorry she couldn't hop on the show, but I will make sure to watch it back with her when she gets back.
I was going to say, make sure she at least watches it so she knows how much she missed, so she'll feel worse.
Yeah,
For sure.
exactly.
Oh, man.
Yeah. All right. Harrison, thanks again for joining us. We absolutely loved having you. Feel free to keep us posted on your ongoings in the future if you wanted to be on another episode or whatever is your timeline looking like and whatnot. I know you got a
For
pretty
sure.
busy schedule. Broken car, getting it fixed,
The wife.
getting the wife, running
Well,
to new jobs and
I will
whatnot.
say we were supposed to get sometime this week. Wedding pictures should be back, so
Oh, sweet.
Can't wait.
We will keep you guys posted on that, and once we get them permissions to spread them all over the place, we'll give you guys your free reign.
Oh, thank you, Harrison.
Oh, yes. We look
Hey,
forward to that.
You have a great rest of your day, Harrison. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this week's episode of Sports Desk. Tune in next week, same time, for some great content.
Coming at you from the penthouse, as always.
Feel free to send us off.
All right. Every kiss begins with Sports Desk.
Yum. And